Did you know we had a listener in Norway?
Yes. No, I didn't know that.
A single listener.
Well, I don't know. Maybe he's telling his friends and his mates about what's going on here at the mighty WMMS, but I got a letter from Henrik Ostbo.
Okay, is this real?
Yes, I'm looking right at it, with lines through both of the O's in Ostbo. Henrik Ostbo. Hi, I'm a big fan of the show. I was wondering if you could send me some stickers. He lives in Stavanger, Norway.
Wow.
I assume it's Stavanger. Stavanger? Some of you listeners of Nordic extraction might be able to tell me. Stavanger, Norway is where this guy listens. I was doing some research on Stavanger. It's southwest Norway. It's on the shores right there of the North Sea. And Poundcake will like this. One of the most expensive cities in the entire world.
Whoa.
Stavanger is the oil capital of Scandinavia, and so they are flush. It's like the Kuwait of Scandinavia. They've got the Norwegian Petroleum Museum there and everything. So maybe Henrik Ostbo is a rich kid. Who knows? Maybe he's there.
Did he send a picture with his
He
letter?
did not send a picture. You know, pal, I would have sent that to you toot sweet had he attached a photo, but he did not do that. So who knows what Henrik looks like. But I bet he's I bet he has that...
skeleton face?
Yes, I need white boy skeletons. Yeah, he's probably got that, like, kind of translucent,
Gaunt,
Kushner quality to him that you enjoy so much.
Allergic to the sun.
That's right.
But he's also got, the turtleneck.
Oh, uncircumcised. Or are you concerned that he's...
Uncircumcised.
Are you worried that he might actually be wearing a turtleneck? Are you averse to the clothing item, the turtleneck? Or do you just... Because that would kind of betray a little bit of hypocrisy there. You have a big problem with the downstairs, but you don't mind the clothing item, turtleneck.
I mean, I don't necessarily have a problem with either. It's just a preference. That's
Gotcha.
all. I don't want people listening thinking that, like, I'm against, the turtleneck. But I'm just saying.
But given the choice between cut and uncut, you'll always go cut.
Given the choice.
Yeah.
But, like,
Because I'm just saying, like...
I don't want to be that shallow.
Well, there's nothing wrong with that. You like what you like. It's not about shallow. You like what you like.
Yeah, that's kind of shallow.
You can talk to straight women who don't want to date guys who are uncut. So, but if
women cannot be shallow.
No.
It's impossible.
It's not
biologically
nature. Yeah.
against them.
The ovaries.
Yeah.
Like I said, if I had my dream guy and he checked off all my boxes,
He'd
and
be in a
there was-
wheelchair.
There was like the one thing that he had. I'm like, I want to say that I would look past it. I really would.
Well, maybe Henrik will hear this show as he's listening to the podcast, and maybe he'll attach a photo next time, and then I'll send it to you,
Okay.
and you'll know. But again, I don't know what his station in life is, but that's a very, very wealthy city. If he lives there, who knows? Maybe his father is some kind of Scandinavian oil magnate. Could you imagine? Because,
definitely
they
overlook it
still
then.
have, what's that?
I said I definitely overlook it then.
I know. Well, that's what I'm saying. You would overlook a
It's a
lot, right?
multimillionaire.
Yeah, like they still have, Norway still has a monarchy. Imagine Poundcake were to go to a place like, like Norway, since we're talking about Norway, someplace aggressively white, right? And King Harald V of Norway, current ruler of Norway, somehow Poundcake marries into the Norwegian royal family. Could you imagine that? And then he would be like, I don't know what they call you, Queen Consort Cody Brown or whatever. I don't know what your title would be, but they'd have to call you something. And then he'd come back. Can you imagine that flex? He'd come back and act like he's better than everybody else because, of course, he would be. He'd be legit royalty by then. Yeah, Scandinavian royalty, but nevertheless, royalty is royalty. What was that?
That was my microphone.
Did you get so distraught by the concept of Poundcake marrying into Norwegian royalty that your head crashed into your mic boom?
Yes, it
Is
wasn't
that what
me.
it was?
It wasn't me slightly touching it to move it just a quarter of an inch. It was me being that distraught and
This is what I'm
banging into
saying.
it.
This is what I'm saying. Bill gets distraught at the mere notion of you being away, Poundcake. Whether or not you are a Norwegian royalty. Something to think of. How powerful is the king of Norway, you ask? He's the commander-in-chief, just like this country. Oh, so kind of ish is what you're saying? Okay. Well, something to think about. If you're looking for them translucent and gaunt, and that might be something to think about. But again, short story long, if that guy sends me a photo, I'll send it to you.
Perfect.
And then you'll have to decide what to do with it. You might end up having, do you know what ethnic extraction McBoyfriend is?
He's German.
German, close enough.
German in like a
You go look.
Turkish or something.
McBoyfriend. Mark Schnell, I got to move on with my life here, and I don't know what to tell you, but I have been approached by the Norwegian royal family to do a couple of things.
I think he'd understand.
It'll start as some light concubining, and then it will no doubt move into something a bit more official. But boy, you like to stand out. Imagine how you'd stand out in Norway.
Yeah.
Right? You could put them at ease by letting them know that you're half white. But other than that, wow.
So I'm not, I have to tell them I'm half white so they won't be offended or something?
I don't know.
Tina Turner seems to be loving Zurich.
Yeah, well, she was already rich.
True.
And married a guy from there, right?
Correct.
She was no international interloper. And if you're a global superstar, you know where the hell you want.
Fair enough.
You got I'm Tina Turner. You may know me as Anime Bullock. And I'm moving to Switzerland. How do you like that? And then she rented a FedEx cargo jet for all of her wigs and moved and is having a great life.
She lives in a castle.
As she should. She is a queen. We had a garage sale over the weekend, and on the corner, my daughter and one of her friends insisted, as a way to hear them tell it, as a way to lure people in. They wanted to do a lemonade stand. This was her first lemonade stand.
Lure.
Yeah. And so they had a lemonade stand. They had, we made the lemonade. Her friend's parents made the cookies. And so they were selling lemonade and cookies, right? And I joked we should have a QR code on the table there so that people could, well, because you saw they're rolling out Venmo for kids.
No.
And so, you see, up till now, you had to be over 18 to use Venmo, but they're rolling out Venmo for kids. You got to get a parent's permission or whatever. But it gives your kids like a digital wallet and a debit card. And this is the first step because Venmo goes, how are we going to train the next generation of debt holders? How are we going to do that? Hey, I know. Let's let kids have Venmo. And then we'll charge them a fee just like grown-up. You want to be a grown-up, don't you? Well, when you withdraw money, there's a fee. There's all kinds of fees. That'll be a great way to get your kids into the next generation of being wage slaves or whatever it is. So we didn't get a big QR code on the table. Everybody paid in cash, and the two of them split the earnings, and they did okay. They did pretty well for having a lemonade stand.
Blake had a moment over the weekend of like financial responsibility. She heard the ice cream truck and she wanted to go get something from the ice cream truck. So Brian's like, okay, go get money out of your piggy bank. And she started like sobbing. And we're like, what is wrong with you? And she's like, I want ice cream, but I don't want to waste my money. And I started laughing.
You're
and
like,
Brian's
this is
like,
Brian's kid.
I know, right? I started laughing so hard. I'm like, honey, that's all of your life. You have to decide if the ice cream is worth the money that you earned. And she was like,
Pro tip, it always is.
Well, she was standing there for like a good 2 minutes and she was starting to freak out because she could hear the ice cream truck getting further away. And I was like, it's like $2, like it's not that big of a deal. She's like, okay, it's worth it. It's worth it. We like had to run down the street to like chase the ice cream truck. But she was having like a mental crisis because she was like, do I want to spend my money on this or not?
That's smart.
Is it worth it to me?
It's never too early to become financially literate.
She wanted us to spend our money on it because she wasn't sure.
Oh, that's
if it
always.
was,
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, she wasn't sure if it was worth it.
Everything's great when somebody else is picking up the tab.
Right.
It's so great.
Hey, let me get one of those SpongeBob's with the bubblegum eyes. It looks like it's in a funhouse mirror because it's half melted. Can I get one of those?
That'd be great.
This one's only got one gumball eye, though, so.
She got a Sonic. Half her face and her whole mouth was blue the rest of the day.
Yeah, okay. But and how much was it? Probably like $1.50.
Dude,
right?
$5.
What?
The ice cream
No
truck.
wonder she was having buyer's remorse or buyer's concern or whatever.
It's out of control. Like there's things
$5,
on the, or at least
I'm
the one,
start opening up an ice cream truck.
the one that comes to our neighborhood. They had like the cones that have all the stuff in it, caramel and chocolate and peanuts
Yep.
and all that. It's like $6.50. I'm like, dude, I thought everything on the ice cream truck was like under $2.
Those are grown-up prices. Well, I mean, on the one hand, it's not 1985 anymore, but on the other hand, I didn't know it was that much.
Yeah, it was.
We
I
don't
was
get
shocked.
an ice cream truck in our neighborhood.
We get them every single day. They started last week.
Well, look at you.
Yeah,
Living the high life. Must be nice.
yeah. We're
Must be
millionaires.
nice.
That's what happens when you live in Brea, Ohio.
Must be nice.
1%, baby.
They probably just have people from Mitchell's come door to door in his neighborhood
Yeah,
and just hand it to you. Be like, this is actually part of the city's taxes. So you just get
No,
it for
we have
free."
to go. We
They
have
got
to
a
go.
backpack full of.
We have to go
Mhm.
procure our own confections. We don't have mobile ice